She's just, I mean, this like endless well of knowledge, and being on that tour was the greatest masterclass you could ever ask for. Hi.
Oh my god!
Oh!
Hello!
Welcome!
Thank you. Good morning. Good for coming.
It's so
Thank you
good
for
to have
having
you.
me.
Welcome to Friday Fry Up, Gracie Abrams.
Thanks so much.
What a treat. What an honour.
What an honor for me.
Oh,
Look at your fancy mugs.
Yeah, we assumed you'd want a
Feel
black
right.
coffee.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Is that right?
That's
Yeah.
me. Yeah, all
We just
day.
went ahead and ordered that beer.
Thanks, guys.
What does your breakfast usually look like? What do you eat in the morning?
I'm not a huge breakfast person, to be honest.
Oh.
But I did have oatmeal this morning.
You've already eaten, so you're getting a second breakfast.
Yeah, I was trying to fuel up for you guys.
Yeah, you want to be on top
Well, it's a
form.
big
Yeah.
It's a big day.
Wanted to match the energy.
You love the UK, so have you had a fry up before?
No.
Really?
No.
Are you?
fun.
This is my first.
Are you vegetarian? Or?
No, I eat everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you're about to be presented with a huge
I'm
plate
so
of bacon
excited.
and
The
all sorts.
sizzling is really
Yeah.
inspiring me back
Half
there.
of it is the sound, I think. It's the enjoyment
Yeah.
of that.
It's the sound, it's the smell.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of a fry up?
I like to put the bacon in toast. So it's like a bacon sandwich, but whilst it's still a full English breakfast.
Really?
Yeah.
You've never actually done that, James.
I've never
ever.
I actually always do
Like,
it.
what else are you lying about? what are all the elements? I guess I'll learn.
Well,
Yeah,
there's
you'll
bacon,
see.
sausage,
Eggs.
Yeah.
Beans.
Yeah. Mayonnaise.
Great.
That's really important.
Okay.
Very
A hash
traditional.
brown.
My favorite.
You
Yeah.
sometimes get a grilled tomato, some mushrooms.
Wow. A feast.
It is a real.
It's a breakfast feast. You don't need to eat for the
Incredible.
rest of the day. That's
Yeah.
the goal.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, you guys are setting me straight.
Here it is.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Whoa!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
Holy
Thank
cow.
you.
Hash browns.
Thank you.
This is
This
so
looks
good.
so good.
Now,
Yes.
yeah, we haven't eaten oatmeal this morning,
What?
so basically the way this works is we ask you short questions that have long answers.
Okay.
So then we just stuff
can
our
eat
faces,
while you answer.
and
Oh,
you don't
great.
get to eat anything because you have to keep
Damn.
talking.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Good.
So, tuck in.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'll try and make this question quite long.
Yeah.
So, it's summer in the UK right now.
Yeah.
Now, a British summer typically is very unpredictable.
Right.
Sometimes we're lucky if we get sun. Most of the time we don't. But as soon as there's any hint of sunshine, we get the paddling pool out, and it's a whole thing. Do you have any memories of summers as a kid? Because I bet your summers were very different to ours.
Summer memories. I feel like my summers we spent visiting my mom's side of the family on the East Coast.
Okay.
How was it? Was it good?
Yeah, it's so hot.
We like to make sure
so
it's cooked
good.
through.
Thank you.
yeah.
Oh, so the East Coast. Okay.
Yes. So my mom's family's from Maine, and all my cousins and my grandparents live there, and so we would go visit them, and it was just very it was kind of like rowdy, like big extended family.
Fun.
Lots of kind of just run. The memories to me are mostly just you leave the house in the morning and you are outside all day exploring.
Oh, that's
Must
so
be
good.
nice.
Yeah, very lucky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Though, like, not always predictable weather there, I would say as well. It can kind of go.
Bit more British.
Yeah.
Are there any places in the UK you're hoping to visit that you haven't seen yet?
Well, everywhere that we tour, except for like whenever we're, even like in Manchester, for example, where we've played a handful of times, we're always in and out so quickly.
Yeah.
That I don't really feel like I've had much time to explore those cities outside of picking up on what we do from the energy of the crowds, which is like I think always very telling about wherever we're lucky
Is
enough
there a
to go.
difference in different parts of the UK that you've noticed? People always say Manchester is up there.
Manchester's incredible crowds. I don't know. I was talking about this with someone yesterday that the London crowds are always super crucial stops for us on tour because the energy gives us all another kind of like
Really?
boost along the way.
That's good.
It's great. I don't know. There's sometimes there's that thing where people say that in kind of like major cities the energy can lull a bit because I think because people are so used to getting all
Yes.
major
Yeah.
tours
Yes.
through.
Yeah.
And so there's less like I don't know, maybe it feels like there's less magic, but I haven't ever felt that
No,
with
that's-
London ever. So
That's good. Maybe it's because people are so busy not looking at each other or speaking to each other in the street or public transport. When they're in a gig,
Yeah.
it's like a big relief.
They give you everything.
Yeah.
They've
Do
been
you
saving
feel-
it up.
do you feel like people are not very social here with one another?
It's very different to America.
It's very
Do you think
I was
it's more social in America?
Oh my God, I
Yes.
was in the States recently.
Really?
Everyone
Yes.
just chats to you.
Yes.
And in the UK,
Wow, really?
if people just come and talk to you like they do in America,
You think they're crazy?
they're mad.
Yeah, people think you're weird.
But in America,
Funny.
it's normal. And actually, what you guys are very good at, just to like do a massive sweeping
I don't know.
generalization,
Yeah,
is,
I'm like, it's not along this.
is short small talk. Like they'll go in, they'll make some
do you
chat,
want that?
and then they'll leave.
But does that like
Well, it's better
feel
than-
substantial?
It's better than long small talk.
I guess that's true.
And Will is the king
I
of
just
that.
feel like there's less.
What?
Just that question
I mean,
in itself
exactly,
was
yeah.
long small
Yeah.
talk.
All of this, all of what I just said is being cut out. yeah.
As we speak.
I feel like maybe because I don't know, maybe because I'm not from here. I feel like the conversations that I have with strangers here are not they don't feel so surface. I feel like they actually go quite
Oh, interesting.
which I've loved.
Really?
Yeah, I like
Well,
it.
you haven't met us. This is very surface. We are skating along the top. Speaking of America,
Pleasant.
obviously the World Cup has been on. Mm-hmm. Have you been getting into it? Because you used to play
Yes.
soccer
Yes, yeah, exactly.
when you were
yes.
young.
I watched the game the other night, which was very exciting here. You know, it was like we were watching from the computer at home, but then our like in the neighborhood, everyone had kind of different. There was like a delay, like 20 seconds. So we'd watch a
that's
goal
good.
get scored, and then the windows would be down here, like
Yeah,
from next door. So it was a lot of fun. But yeah, it's quite amazing. I love the World Cup.
Yeah, it's good.
It was like unifying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or something, and like talking about the East Coast in Boston, the Scotland was playing there, and they
Yeah.
went to Fenway, and that's like we're a Red Sox family, and so it was pretty amazing to see Fenway filled with Scottish fans, like
Yeah.
The Tottenham.
tearing it down.
Yeah.
But also
Yeah.
being so amazing because they like drained Boston of all the beer.
Yeah. Yeah. They genuinely ran out of beer.
This is
Yeah.
just
But then they
sensational,
also like cleaned up after themselves entirely, and you got this. I don't know. It's just pretty remarkable. People
It's cool.
there are these kind of flickers of human decency.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
you're reminded that we're not all goners or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's so true.
Anyway.
You know, that is honestly so
Hey, we're
true.
taking it there. Should we talk about Daughter from Hell?
Yeah.
Because it's out right now.
Right, yes.
We're obsessed. And you worked with Aaron Dessner on the album, who also helped to write Folklore, Evermore, Noah Kahan's The Great Divide. So what is this guy like? He's obviously a legend. Was it fun working with him?
He's the greatest, and we've known each other for 6 years now, so it feels like kind of this. Every time we make something together, I feel like it's evidence of kind of the like development of our knowing each other, and it feels like it's a very earned, trusting relationship that you get to have if you're lucky with people that are helping facilitate your expression and how you choose to like represent yourself in that way. And he's just the most magical partner in that, you know, he's like a wizard, and he's such a genius player, but he's also got like, you know, his experience with the National has spanned like as a touring artist, songwriter, producer, collaborator on so many other people's stuff. He wears all these different hats
Yeah.
so beautifully and without ego, and
So
that
I-
feels rare.
Flo obviously makes music. I've never done it. I don't
Yeah.
really know. Like,
Yeah.
if you're in the studio and you have a bad idea, would
Yeah.
he tell you, like, it's a bad
Would
idea?
be like, no, mate.
Or is no idea a bad idea?
No, they're absolutely bad. Like I think, but I think that's like the best thing. Also, I think if you're able to be direct with someone, it saves everyone time. Also makes it feel true. You know when they think something is a good idea.
James is now having a performative bacon sandwich.
Like, he's never done this.
Yeah,
He's literally
yeah.
never done this before.
Is that just bacon between two slices of bread?
He's hating it as well.
Yeah, you
he's
look
not even
not
enjoying
very
this.
happy.
He's not even enjoying it. Tell us the story behind Daughter from Hell. What does it mean? Are you the daughter from hell? Explain.
Yes, I think I was. I think I was very much. I think like regardless of the dynamic, I think being a kid in relation to your parent is just inevitably full of friction and differences. And I think it's just been an interesting change in the past, couple years where all I want is to soak up as much time and wisdom as I can get from my family. And when I was younger, I would, try to sort of avoid that, I think. And the title track was the last song that I wrote for the album, and it felt very immediately correct that would be the title, because I feel like all of the songs on this record are sort of about different kinds of conflict that I, today, being as old as I've ever been, feel like I have the most kind of perspective, I suppose, or I don't know, and like a bit more softness than I have before in terms of like my judgments of myself or others. Like it feels just a little bit, feels more peaceful. And so anyway, that song was an unexpected one, and but I love it. And it's kind of it's like an apology and a thank you. And like
You're like, sorry
That's
guys.
good,
yeah, truly.
Sorry,
I put you through hell.
Yeah, absolutely.
But your lyrics are always very personal. They always feel very, almost like pages from a diary, you know? Is there anything that you've written that you've been like, I don't know if I can actually say this, but then you've gone ahead anyway,
Yeah, I think like I feel very open about my writing. Like I feel lucky that the kind of outside eyes looking in haven't made their way into the studio for me, or I'm not considering that when I'm actually writing something. But after the fact, like, I think it can feel sort of exposing, just maybe like this year more than before. Just a little bit. Yeah, just like a little bit more like the awareness that people might have more context for your life and therefore might like read into things more deeply, which I also understand that's like with artists that I've loved so much, if they've written songs, I'm like, I want to know who that's about, which is natural. But my hope for anybody who listens to the music is that they are able to just apply it to their lives rather than,
rather than go digging.
Yeah.
But I understand it. But I think no, in short, no, because I've only ever changed like names of certain streets or something like that to protect,
to make them
like,
rhyme.
That's
all.
fun.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Good old rhyme zone. Is it true you started writing music when you were 8 years old? No way. What were you writing about when you were 8? Do you remember?
Being a nightmare daughter?
Kind of. They were very self-deprecating songs, and I think I'd started journaling as a result of my 3rd grade teacher who encouraged it and made me fall in love with it, which was very lucky, and I'm grateful to her. But I was writing, so when I lost said journal, I wrote a song about like feeling like the worst kind of like criminal for misplacing something so valuable to me. Or like I would write about fights with family or whatever the thing was. And then it very quickly transitioned into songs about love and yearning. And I think it's like when you're 8, you don't have
Done the
a point
experience,
of, but that's why music meant so much to me growing up, is like, that's what taught me how to yearn, before I had those experiences. You like hear someone's voice that feels like it gets inside your head. Expressing something so true, even if you don't know what that is yourself. Yeah, that's so true.
You've got to release them.
It's so
Do
true.
you still have the journals? Have you got journals consistently, except for the one you lost? Sorry about that.
No,
by
I
the way. Do you still have like the rest? Have you?
Yeah.
Really? How often do you journal?
As daily as I.
And you have been for
almost 20 years.
Wow.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Quite. It's a lot.
Do you go back and read them? And
I have.
Yeah.
I have. Yeah, I have. But
It must feel like they were written by a different person.
it's kind of funny. Like sometimes there's still such a through line. I'm like,
no, that's me.
I like to think I've changed a lot, but maybe not. But yeah, it's great. Do you guys do that ever?
No.
Really?
No, I used to as a kid.
You don't anymore?
No.
I would love
because
to.
I remember I left it on the sofa once and
Someone read it.
it was unlocked. It was like one with a
I
padlock and it was
love
unlocked.
those.
Oh, no.
And I just knew that my dad had read it and it broke my heart.
Oh,
and after
no.
that I was like, I can't.
Did he tell you that you had?
He kind of like smirked and I was like, you've read it, haven't you? And he was like, no. I
Oh,
was
it's like
you read it.
No,
That was
devastating.
it. That was it.
My mom had said she read I had left mine on my bed, I think, at one point. She did open it to just, and then she said she closed it and never did again, which I respect. And I'm also like, is that true?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it is so, I don't know, that I do feel like that is, like, it feels like such a violation, especially when you're a kid.
You've announced the Look at My Life tour, and it's beginning later this year. So, what's it going to look like? What's the vibe for this tour?
I'm so excited for this tour. We just have finalized the set list and getting into the visuals. It's been so much fun. I think because the production for this album, I was so hands-on, and that's really been such a thrill just creatively. But then on this side of things, when you're building the show out and making these live arrangements and imagining all the transitions between different sections, and even then like building the bridge between this album and previous albums, knowing every single layer and every song has made it feel infinitely more thrilling to arrange the live set. You know what I mean? Just like having kind of combed through the whole album while making it with such a fine-tooth comb, it's kind of feels like it's armed me to know exactly what I want. And that's a new experience with touring. Like, I've always loved shows so much because of how close I feel with our audience and with the band and crew, but from like a true like show point of view, I think this will feel the most showy.
Great.
So it's exciting. And
That's really exciting.
yeah, I'm really, really, really.
Speaking of showgirls, we loved the Eras tour that you were on. Has Taylor ever given you advice on touring, and did you reach out?
Yeah, she's just, I mean, this like endless well of knowledge, and being on that tour was the greatest masterclass you could ever ask for. And I think because this is our first world arena tour, we played arenas last year, but this is like from the jump, going off and doing it that way, where we're just as a full crew thinking about it differently, having had the experience of been on her stadium tour in the biggest rooms that exist, like the biggest stage in the world, with such a massive crew, like watching the way that she kind of orchestrates it all top down, and the impact that has on everyone's quality of life has been so remarkable, because it's like everyone is leaving their friends and families and pets and like embarking on the like circus that is tour, and it is physically taxing sometimes, and if one person gets sick, everyone gets, you know what I mean? It's just this like funny, strange thing, and they, being Taylor's team, handled it all with such grace and generosity towards one another, and it felt like summer camp backstage every day. Like, it was just really remarkable. So I think, there's so many bits of advice that I've been lucky enough to get from her over the years, but I think as we embark on this tour, I'm just keeping that in mind so heavily.
When Taylor came in, it was like a dream for all of us. I asked her if she had any hot gay friends, or if Travis had any hot gay friends, and she said, "We'll take it offline. I'm going to tell you about my hot gay friends."
Did you get hooked up?
No, I haven't.
No, she has not been true to her word.
And I love Taylor. I trust Taylor. I know she's going to.
She's going to for sure.
But
She
it's
will
taking a
eventually.
while.
Are you single still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
What are you looking for?
That's a great question.
It's all like cast a
very
wide
hot
net.
and gay. I think that's
Preferably
Okay.
like an NFL player, I guess.
Okay.
Wow.
Maybe not
Okay.
necessarily that.
Okay,
I don't know
okay,
that there are
okay,
any gay
okay.
ones.
There statistically
yeah,
must
there will
be.
be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I guess just anyone at this point.
Just anyone.
Okay.
Over 30 would be
Anyone,
great.
Gracie.
Okay.
Over 30, I
Okay.
think would be nice. I quite like a beard sometimes.
Okay, I will
want some
think.
facial hair.
I will think.
Yeah, okay, great.
Over 30, so you like an older man. That's good.
That's right, Will.
Yeah. I've got your back, buddy. I've got your back.
Hey, always got your back.
Yeah.
Let me know. Maybe
I
it's me.
will.
I've asked a lot of people, and they often say, "I'll have a think," and then no one ever gets in touch. I think
No.
maybe the problem is me.
No,
I think the problem is me.
I will be thinking. I will be thinking.
Okay, but if there's any notes you've got, maybe
I think I've got
anyway,
loads.
But your easy get out is that you're very analog, so you'll have to write him a letter and you don't have his address.
Send it by pigeon and it
Damn.
won't get through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the pigeon
That's
got
fine.
lost.
On the Secret of Us tour,
Yes.
your fans, they kind of had their own dress code.
Yeah.
Bows in the hair.
Yeah.
What is this new era all about?
Oh goodness. Well, I just want people to come in whatever they feel good in, and lots
That's
of
nice.
like, honestly, I think that's like makes for the best kind of show going experience, personally
Yes.
speaking. But also, you know, I love seeing people in the bows still, even though I don't really have the hair for it anymore.
But you've got
like-
that's a sort of bow.
yeah, we're making it work. We're
Yeah,
adjusting.
like
of
a
course.
rosette.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
good.
Nod there.
Yeah.
Yeah, brooches.
Yeah. You're right. Well, people come in whatever they're comfortable, or like a Pitbull show, and people come in bald wigs, suits, and ties.
I
do
know,
the
it's very
I didn't know that was a
real.
thing, and then I got a tube, and he was playing in the O2, and I got onto a tube, and there was 1,000 people in
That
the
is
bald wig.
the
I was
best.
like, what is going on?
Great, isn't it?
Addison's got that with the pink wigs as well,
Yeah.
which I love to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's what your fans create themselves, right? You
100%.
probably get surprised. You see them and you're like, oh, okay, so this is what we're wearing now.
No, totally. But also, like, I think sometimes you see the sea of people leaving a show, for example, and I'm like, oh, like I didn't think, like I must have worn a skirt, like because all of them are in this
Yeah.
uniform. I always am so curious, like what people who don't know that we're playing a show when they see, like.
Yeah.
But also, they need to
thousands
be
of
comfortable
girls.
because they're moshing, right?
Yeah.
That's
It's
fully
very
happening.
polite mosh.
Yes, it's a
happens
nice
at
sway.
crazy show.
Yeah.
crowd.
It's very like, yes, yeah,
Sort of
very
mission.
hand holding, very like, it's almost
Yeah.
like
Very
bring around the
respectful.
rosy, Jason.
So cute though.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
polite.
Are there any particular fan interactions that have really stayed with you?
Oh my God, I mean, like, well, last night I got to meet a group of really sweet people who had gone to, waited outside a performance that we did yesterday, and that, anyway, they have like, they get, the tattoos always really shock me and move me, and I don't know, it's like a really gorgeous and insane, like I get such wild imposter syndrome, and also like, it is very touching because I know how much, you know, like the tattoos that I have, I'm like, those mean
Yeah.
something to me for real. So anytime there's something in that realm, or like when they share their art, like they'll bring paintings or poems or, you know, sketches that they've done to shows, and it's like an amazing reminder that the room is full of people that are just really desperate to put their feelings somewhere. And I'm very, very, in the least condescending way, like proud of them when they do that and feel comfortable sharing it, because it's brave.
Congratulations on being Vogue's celebrity reporter at the Met Gala. That's pretty huge.
Boom.
Thank you. I don't know how much reporting I did.
Took some great
You
pictures.
did take some hot
Thank
pics.
you.
I love the picture with Hudson and Connor.
Yeah, perfect.
Amazing.
Perfect.
What was your favourite moment of the night when you were there?
Oh, the performances were pretty nuts. To
Really?
see Stevie Nicks and Sabrina together
Wow.
was
Yeah.
just
We don't get to
a
see
trip.
it. That's so cool.
Oh yeah, of course. I don't know why that wouldn't be like the thing.
Yeah.
It was really special. And also Madonna was sat right behind me. So I was watching Stevie Nicks through Madonna's
Pirate ship.
hat.
Oh my God, that's
So
And
amazing.
when you're just kind of like, what is this fever dream?
That's so funny.
Yeah, very wild. But it was I mean, Stevie's just insane, and Sabrina always smashes it. So
Yeah.
that was special.
That's very cool.
So good.
Yeah.
Honestly, we have loved
Yes,
talking to you.
thank you
this
so much.
morning. We're going to let you actually eat some breakfast.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you for having me and for providing me my first
And we're
try.
excited for the new album and the new tour. Can't wait to see it all.
Thanks, guys.